Hello, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I'm in the studio a lot. I produce a lot. I'm not always producing when I'm in the studio, but I am in the studio every day. And there's times, many times, when I just can't be fucked. Happens a lot. I know it's very common for producers and creative people in general. But when I feel like that, I don't quit or stop or defer. I still get in there and give it a shot. But I do have a few tricks that when I'm feeling lazy, these are my go-to tricks that end up leading to something exciting comes from it, that picks me back up, sparks me, keeps going. I haven't done it in a while because I've been pretty proactive, pretty busy, but this is something I do when I'm very, very lazy. MIDI clip, and what I'm trying to achieve is, I don't even know, I use this idea to generate different sounds, different possibilities of patterns, and hoping that fits into what I'm doing. Typically, I start with a drum rack Ableton. Obviously, it's got several slots. I'm just over here, 4, 8, 12, 16. I'll fill them up with drum hits, kicks. You can fill this up with anything you want, obviously, but in this example, I use kicks. A variety of kicks. They're all going to be hard, they're all going to be techno, etc., but nonetheless, there's a variety. What I'm looking to do is create the MIDI clip. If we go down here on the piano roll, we're going to see all the samples here, but I'm not going to segment it with Roselle like I normally do. What I'm doing is I'm going through all my sources in Ableton, whether they're stock clips of different MIDI patterns. So it just saves me from thinking, and it just starts generating different possibilities that I wouldn't A, think of, or B, sit down to try and create. So if you go through any of these percussion sounds, sim sounds, I'd rather use melodic sim sounds. Let's say this. We'll drag it in. It's going to convert to MIDI. Now, just quick preview. You get the gist. 16 drum sounds, but the patterns are going to do the triggering for us to see what it can create. What that does is straight away just gives us an idea of how these sounds are going to behave together. But the beauty of this is now, if I'm liking anything I'm hearing, I can either edit the MIDI pattern so it doesn't trigger that sound. M&S, I can mute and solo each sound. So if someone's giving me the shits, I can either delete it, mute it, or even swap the sample out. But then even further, each kick or each sample, you can go in and manipulate and change the sample start, sample end time to get more creative. So if we solo this here, this sound here, so that's shitting me in this context, right? So if I want to keep it, I might just reduce this sample time and just have it hit. Obviously, we've got further parameters inside, MS-20 filter. We can drive, we can transpose, we can automate even further. But straight away, I can just see what's happening. Now, normally when I'm doing this, because I'm starting with kicks, I'm just trying to get a groove. Like I'll have my kick and rumble and kick and offbeat bass, but I'm just looking for that gritty perk layer. That's not going to be typically offbeat or so predictable. I am looking for some sort of variety of a rhythm. So I do have a loop already made with a bass and a distortion loop, but I'll just solo this with the kick. And that's literally all I'm looking for. What I've done here is I'll just get the first part of the clip, duplicate that so that's even, reconsolidate. I'll go this way, see what that sounds like. It's subtle, it's not going to be the main part of this song, but I am looking for something to throw in there from a texture standpoint. Now again, this sound, that's shitting me. So two things here. If I click on this here, maybe I might use the second half. If I solo that, If that's the case, I've got the fades here. The other good thing about this is if maybe everything's not working together, rather than going in and muting and trying to really make it happen, if I just like this sound and that's working, I'll just take that out, isolate it and use it in the track. And then maybe rinse, repeat again and just get something else. I might only need 2 sounds working together. Really depends. So then in context again. But when it gets busy here, let's say I really like this. This is where I'll look to chop and change the MIDI pattern further, like this, say. Loop that, consolidate. So now this shape, this sound that we've shaped and moved a bit further, that's playing more of a crucial role in this now. And then again, just isolating each sound. So this here I don't think is loud enough. Again, if I want that to appear a bit more, we'll go down here, KB1 rumble, over to this side, KB1 rumble, that's it there. So we can even now further add this in. And then to keep it even, I'll duplicate that across. Now that's just that. I can slide that in the original one that we shaved. And this is all I'm looking for. It's that simple. But sometimes when I'm lazy and I'm in that mood, having a small win like this quickly just peps me back up, gets me a bit more excited. I can just keep moving forward. What I've done in the past is I'll duplicate that. I'll leave the bottom one as just those 2. So I'll either leave them solid or you can mute everything else or delete them. That's up to you. Or just even, let's do this. We'll just freeze it straight to audio. Get that as a sample. Go back into here. And if this isn't working, what I'll do is I'll mute them. Take them out. Sometimes it might be a case of I'll shorten the MIDI clip, consolidate it so the piano rolls smaller down here, down the bottom. And I'll just put the headphone loop on. And you know what? Because I've already got something I'm happy with down the bottom that I've frozen the audio, I might just draw something in. I know this part sort of defeats the purpose of why I started this in the first place, but now I'm in a different mood, right? So this one here. Solid like that. Now if I like that all together, I would look to Sunder Malik. And then start incorporating these sounds in there. So now, if I play it all together, it might be a bit conflicting mix-wise, but just so you can hear it. If we take that out, understand I've got a loop there with some texture and already some character there, but now that sweep on every 4th kick is money. Now, going back to this, I typically, and you can throw any MIDI source in there you like, I typically go to a synth because it's melodic, so it's going to have a bit more movement up and down the piano roll. You can use any synth you like. Let's try this. It's going to be a bit frantic. Mute that. Take the amp off. Now, something as simple as this, if you don't like it, I could just make layer it differently, move these around. See, this is why I get excited again, because that shit right there. Now I'm excited. Let's put that to 0. Let's throw the amp on too, mate. Go heavy, I'm a heavy man. I mean, now this is another direction the track can go. You might end up going somewhere else. The beauty of it is before you freeze it to audio, you can either obviously get back into the piano roll and muck around with it. I typically just like to look at it visually in this view and chop it, but this is up to you. So let's say we like this. If that's not working, that might go up here. Let's say I like this part. We'll take it the whole way through. Open the loop up. This can stay there. And let's try this. Maybe let that play out, which is this sound here. Let's put that there. Let's go like this. And just change your pattern up. Consolidate that. Loop. Just to get variety. Now, one step even further. While it's still in MIDI and we haven't frozen it to audio, you can duplicate it or you can keep it there. Either swap that sound out directly, as in just drag it straight on top, or if you like that sound, and that's a possibility for your palette, get another kick. Let's go psycho kick. Yeah, that will do. I'll just put it next to it. So if I like that, I'll just go back into the piano roll, Control A, and go down one to hit that new sample slot. Now here, I can work this. Transpose up and down. Obviously got the filter options, but got the fades. We can zoom into this sample the whole way through. You can get nice and short and say, you'll see that fade there. Fade them both ways so they overlap and get like a, I'll call it a Christmas tree. Throw a delay on that. Catch it later. Let's do it. Delay. Get that, son. But you can hear how I'm starting to evolve this now. This here, for me, I liked it as it was, but this pitch is what I'd be playing with to sort of see, well, for my taste, which way I'm going to go. Mate, go low and just wild. Or you can get it, pitch all the way out, get it really nice and tight. And then boom. Furthermore, keep it there, duplicate it. If you want to layer it, a lot of people would disagree with that. I like it. Or layer it however you like. But, short one for me today. I hope that helps. I get lazy, get frustrated, I'm sure you all do. It's part of the creative brain. Throw a MIDI clip in, load it up with drum kicks, or anything for that matter. Get a drum kit MIDI clip or a synth line or a melody, throw it in there, let that do the work for you, and tweak accordingly. Thank you very much. See you soon.